All right, guys, what's going on? Jeff Gross here. We got Brian Rass. We are going to be doing a show. This is it. We're doing it. We're here. Vig-free. We've actually, this is technically our second episode. Yeah, we just recorded an hour and 15-minute episode. Adrian, if you want to pop that on the screen and show proof of the video, we did it. We didn't test the mic until after. Yeah, someone put it above my shoulder. We literally recorded, and then Brian, credit to him, you would think he's been doing Twitch and podcasting for years, because he said, we should have done this at the first minute, but we waited for the full hour and 15. It's super fishy. But then we realized that the volume was terrible. We didn't get it right. We adjusted the settings, did some stuff, blah, blah, blah. Here we are. Anyway, let's dive right in. Brian, what are we covering today?
Well, today we thought, listen, this podcast is going to be about stuff we like, stuff we're into. Probably going to compress that hour and 15 down, try to do this a little faster, but we thought, we'll talk about the WSOP, because that's why both Jeff and I are here in Vegas to play this, try to win some bracelets.
You got 4, I have 0, just no one's counting.
Nobody knows now. You got the live, you got the online, you got this, whatever. And then we're going to talk a little crypto. Yeah. The idea being probably CryptoPunks, little general Bitcoin, where things are going, and then, peace out.
That's it. That's what you heard. We're tired a bit. It's late. We had a nice dinner. It's freezing in Vegas. It's been a bit cold at the table. Some of the runouts. Rest. We're gonna talk about all that. But let's just get right into it. Let's just get into the WSOP, because that's what's
first. This WSOP is a little different than the average WSOP, right?
Super different.
COVID's going on. Honestly, if this WSOP had happened in June, like that tournament down in Miami, that series, they got the record turnout. There was a 5 or 10K actually, a couple that happened during the summer here that got like really big turnouts. It was at like Venetian, and one was at Wynn or whatever.
Yep.
But it didn't happen then. And since then, we got Delta, we got the vaccine requirements, and between vaccine requirements, quarantine, all this stuff, the numbers have been okay, but they're definitely down right now. And I think for sure it just has to do with all these extra requirements. And then people being worried about COVID. And there are some differences there, like you have to show that you're vaccinated, and, you can play at the table without a mask, but, you have to walk around with a mask and whatever. It's pretty normal, but a little different. And unfortunately, because of COVID, what could have been like a real breakout, like everyone just frothing at the mouth to come back after a year off, instead it's a little down number-wise, at least, than normal.
Yeah, and I will just say, in terms of registration, getting situated, I came in. I wasn't here on day one, so I got in about a week late, and it was very easy. There was no line. I got my
day one was a crazy line.
Oh, you were on day one? You came in?
Yeah, day 1 or 2 or whatever. It was
busy,
a very long line. The first time, the first term I played. It was a long
and just a heads up, generally if you do come for one of these kind of the gimmick events or the Millionaire Maker, or when you play the WSOP main event, that is something I would recommend, just from a tip, to come in maybe a day or 2 early, or get acclimated, because that likely will be the case again. It's probably gonna be super jammed up, crazy, and the stuff that's sort of annoying to do is going to be extra annoying. So that'll just be one piece of advice.
Yeah, and you can save some time there's like the Clear app or whatever, and you can. You have to show that you're vaccinated. So do that ahead of time on the Clear app, and it'll save you like 1 or 2 things you got to do. Then you show them when you buy in.
Yeah, it's the same Clear as at the airport. Some of you guys may have that. I didn't realize that was the same thing, and I did have it, and it does help. But all right, let's cover this 98 gold bracelets quickly again. Let's just touch on this. You mentioned you have 4 live bracelets. David Peters recently on the podcast won at Montelusa. On my podcast recently, also won bracelets. Great players. They won online. Does that diminish for you? Should there be an asterisk? Should it be different? How do you look at online bracelets?
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's like, all World Series of Poker bracelets are a little bit different. I mean, obviously, anyone who won like the main event or some of the real like big ticket ones, that's a little cooler than like maybe smaller live, and are they cooler than like online ones?
It's like CryptoPunks.
Or like, what about
there's different values,
like World Series of Poker Europe, when like nobody knows how many people actually played the tournament? Maybe it was only 20. Probably not 20, but I'm just saying, like, right. It's all a little different. At the end of the day, it'd be nice if the WSOP, even if they expand it out so more people have opportunities to win bracelets, don't dilute it too much. That'd just be what I say. So you can do a little extra here, a little extra there, but don't get carried away.
Like
what does that mean?
$50 bracelets, a little bit.
Or if they have, I don't know, just They do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that sounds ridiculous, honestly. So, I think they're maybe diluting it a little too much, which, I don't know, ultimately is kind of bad for their brand. I mean, there needs to be a certain thing, I think, with the bracelet where, you're putting up at least a certain amount of money. It sounds like to me, based on what I see, 1,000 should probably be the minimum. Maybe some of these like 800, 888 or whatever. But yeah, like anything under, for sure, $500 to me, like you shouldn't get a bracelet for that.
Right.
And then also don't have like too many events. I mean, don't cash grab so hard that you're going like online and to another country and this, because then you also have situations where you don't just get turnouts. It's a little, so I don't know, like I love the WSOP. It's something that me and a bunch of poker players get fired up for. I just hope that they remember some of the things that make their brand special and what makes it like really cool to have a bracelet, and don't like go too far, because like ultimately it could end up being like backfire.
Right.
Like okay, like you make some money for like a few years, but then 10 years from now, whatever, like Triton Poker or some other thing becomes more important because the WSOP diluted the
Is that a BTC alert?
Yeah. It's funny because it actually went off in the first one.
Yeah.
And it went off.
That's beautifully natural.
Right now, I have an alert for 57.5 and it's 57.6. So that's like the pot, like
yeah, that's beautiful. You gotta teach me how to do that alert. That's cool.
Yeah, I'll give you.
Very cool. I want that secret. That's something we could cover and show people how to do that too. That kind of stuff, like little tricks, what apps you like to use. All this stuff's fun. This is what we want to do. We want to talk about what we do. Both of it. It's fun too because we do learn off each other. Whether it's sports, cards, NFTs, crypto, all this stuff. It's fun to chat. So this is what we're here for. We're gonna do it faster. Let's dive in.
Hold on, wait. Funny story about this thing. It's gone off at like the poker table before here in the WSOP, and this is actually a great little like, just like this, like at the poker table. Someone's like, "What's that?" It's like Bitcoin price alert going up, and everyone's table's like.
No, that's great.
No, I don't know. Whatever.
That's great. No, that's amazing. That's awesome. I love that. All right, listen, let's dive back over here. So again, we've done this already, guys. This is our Ras and I second take. That's how serious we are about Vig-free. We finally got it. We've talked about for a while. 98 bracelets. Let's just dive through the schedule. And I'm going to let's do this this way. Let's just run through the schedule. I'll talk about what I'm excited about. First of all,
what are you excited?
I'm excited about the
PLO. This summer?
The PLO event. So I came in right about here. This is essentially my second event was Millionaire Maker. I played the 6 max. I'm excited about PLO. 10K, 25K. Those to me, we clicked on. Let's just see it again. I know there's
how many tournaments do you think you're going to play this summer?
Probably 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's typical for you?
It's probably about right.
Okay.
Yeah, 30.
And where's the PLO?
Let's go to the 10K juicy. PLO,
there's the 10K,
right
there
here.
It is, the 8-handed championship.
You can see last
they got
year,
Annies now. They finally have Annies up.
$1 million
That's
to
huge.
first last year, so pretty sweet 4-day event.
Probably won't get $1 million for first this year.
Is it? So this is something that I'm a bit confused about. I think does it show?
No, the championship events have not been re-entry because they're not. Because like the 25K horse and the 25K no limit were re-entries. Okay. Luckily, I didn't need to re-enter, but the 10K championships all so far haven't been.
Because it's a little confusing.
The 50K PLO might be a re-entry though.
It's a little interesting here that because it says freeze out, right, for like this one.
Yeah,
but
the championship events, when it's like something championship, they all, to my knowledge, at least so far, have not been. I haven't checked them all, but they're not re-entry.
Okay, good to know.
Like, if you're the champion, it's because there was no re-entry.
Right, I like
Maybe
that.
Maybe it's their thinking.
Interesting. Shootout. I like shootouts. That's one I got runner up in. To me, it's fun.
Cowboy.
It's a sit and go.
You should buy a cowboy CryptoPunk.
What do you mean? That's a fun way to get a bracelet. You just win and you're in. You're almost to the final.
Just like the what was the flip and go?
Flip and go. That's too sensitive. It's a little too soon.
It's too soon.
18 bullets and a 1K.
18 bullets.
Where?
Oh, it's not 20. It's 25K. It's not 50K. It's 25K.
Yeah, and they
I
also.
bet this is re-entry. Watch. Re-entry. One re-entry. Yeah, one re-entry per player.
And Mr. Chidwick, congrats him last year. There is a 50K PLO though.
Yeah, Chidwick is somebody I'd love to talk to him some. I've never really sat down and talked to him.
Great guy. Talked to him a bit. He's an all-time legend, and his daughter is born one day apart from my son, and I mentioned this in the first rendition, but they held hands. They held hands together for the first time, and then they actually had their first kiss together as well. And I mean, I think it was just a cheek. I didn't see it. My wife told me, and that's
here's the 50K PLO, right?
One re-entry.
It's a 2-day, baby. Yeah, get this shit over with. One re-entry. I love it.
Fuck, I don't know if that was
my kind of tournament. It's funny. I'm, at this point, the shorter the tournament, the better. So we were talking about this actually before, but my main event record, that's like, this is a long, gotta have patience. It's like, I need to tap into JG's mindset with it, because I've played the main event, who knows, 16 times. I've cashed once. It's embarrassing.
That's great. That's a wild stat. You've also won the super high roll 4 bracelets, so like, it's maybe something said for that.
It's these short tournaments, you get a tournament too long, like fucking, Andy Mosley gave me his name in Macau, Brian Blast. Brian Blast has a time and a place.
Brian Blast.
The time and the place for Brian Blast is not the main event.
I've never heard that nickname. I can't believe I've never heard that. That's amazing.
It kind of fits. Brian Rass, Brian Blast.
I'm just surprised I've never heard that. I love it. What about you? What gets your juices?
So I came in hot from the beginning. Played this. Was looking forward to this 25K horse, and my juices is going to be this. I'm going to play a full series. Like, I'll probably play about the same as you, 30 events. For me, if it's 30, that'll be the second most I've ever played, I think.
No bracelet bets though. You've done that. You said you were miserable when you did that.
I've told you about this before.
No, you told me on the podcast that we agreed at first. That's right. That we ever doing it again.
But it's like, all right, here's the thing. I just can't. I hate tying myself to something, right? Like, okay, I need to do this, and it's like, especially in the past, my main focus over the summers really would be cash games, playing like the nosebleed cash. But I would always come over to the series and try to like get in, like max late reg some things, spin it up. But like, the summer it was like, no, I've got to do this. Soon I was like playing day ones and this, and like once I got sick of it, I don't know, man. It's like, for me, when I love something, it's not work. And I can do it. But once it's like, I don't want to be there, it becomes work. And we talked about this, but it's like, it's just hard to play your A game, right? And, B, C game poker, just not getting it done. You lose a lot of edge. It's not fun. Yeah, we have to give a
shout out to Elliot Rose. We did on the first one, we were saying, this is a guy that you've used for personal sessions.
I just had a session with him today.
Nice.
A session, like, you see it like, okay, I think, this is whatever, stuff about my life. This summer, think I'm going to be focusing on the WSOP, not even playing cash, try to win a bracelet, I turned 40 in less than a month, try to make the Poker Hall of Fame, let's win another bracelet, get in there, You
think number 5, that just like solidifies it versus maybe not being in? Or
it's not just that, but like me playing cash has no effect on it in a way.
Right.
But like winning a bracelet, this, getting myself out there, being seen in the community, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Want to do it.
I would think you're in already, but I guess it depends. Or maybe you'd be in like faster.
Yeah, I just want to play bracelet events.
Yeah.
In a way, it's like way more relaxing. I mean, like, listen, you know this. Like, I play cash games. Some of these games are big. You're winning, losing hundreds of thousands, like every session, and and going in there. Okay, 25K event today, 10K. Man, we just played a $1,500 08 split. Just like.
Yeah, have a couple beers, have some fun.
I'm doing this World Series like Phil Hellmuth style. You know what I mean? Except it probably won't be quite as dialed in as it was.
Hey, what do you got there? What did you just try for the first time, and how is that?
Brandfield. B-R-E-I-N, brand.
How is it? Not Brian.
It's actually, it's actually pretty good.
It's good. Hellmuth rocks it. He gets to every final table. Rast is going to try it. We got a fridge.
I was sagging from dinner. I had like 3 or 4 beers.
Got a fridge, Brainfield fridge right here.
And I was dying. I was like falling asleep in the chair, and Jeff's like, "Yo, Brandfield."
Sip responsibly because it is strong. Don't drink the whole.
So I've been sipping it.
We've been a little light. It is past midnight.
Yeah, we've been. Like I said, we already shot an hour plus. We did.
We did. We're reshooting. All right, we are gonna cut down. There are bracelets.
So 30 events. Let's go. Win a bracelet. I'm gonna be a lot more serious about tournaments this summer and off the cash that I usually do. That's what I'm looking forward to. What am I gonna do? I'm probably going to do like all the championship events. I'll do the 50K Poker Players Championship main event. Smaller events I'll pick and choose as we go based on how I'm feeling. And I'll definitely play the 100K, the 50K PLO. And the 250 is the one where I'm like, on the fence, probably. You know, I mean, I just haven't been playing nosebleed tournaments for a while, or a couple of years now. And that one, we're, you know, just going to see how I feel at the end of the series. I mean, if I've been crushing it, I'll for sure play it. And if it's been a tough summer, then I'll just, you know, feeling good, run it. If not, not.
This is all right, they do make it a 3-day at least. That's...
I feel like it'd be better for me if it was a 1 day.
You like the 1 day one.
Just need to unleash Brian Blast and just go for it.
Just rip it.
These 3 days, let them, the GTO grind me all the way down with the
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I love it. All right, there's a 10K Super Turbo. There's some other fun ones. High-low, 10K Championship. There's some online events, 7K. The one drop. And, of course, the main event, guys, 4 starting days. I got to shout out the World Cup of Vegas. That is the 5th. I know you turned 40th when on the
8th.
The 8th. So right around the... Oh, that's day 2 of the main, I think. You'll be... hopefully in. You set your record. On the 5th, though, if you are in Vegas, if you're a soccer fan, player, star, or just like to play, you should reach out to take a look at Timothy Adams. There's an Instagram page for this. I should actually pull that up on there, but we'll talk more about that, I'm sure. Hopefully we have a lot of these. We'll see. And what do you think the over-under is on Vig-free podcast for this WSOP? Call it till Thanksgiving. Right now, we'll call this 1.1. Right. This is
over under. I'll go with 4.5.
I think we can hit 5 because it's like 1 a week.
Yeah.
1 a week. We can find it. We'll sort it out.
Yeah, I'm over on that.
You're over on 5?
No, I'm over on 4.5.
All right.
What about you? You're always.
I think we could find 6 because even once it's over towards the end, like the last couple of days,
it could be a lot slower.
Yeah, and whatever. Anyway, we're gonna do as many as we can. It's reasonable. Again, soccer on the 5th. USA's won it twice. You play for your country. So if you're from Argentina, I think they feel the squad. I know for sure Brazil, Mexico, Spain, USA. We've won it twice. Whatever. So
honestly, the bigger question to me isn't like the number. It's obviously one of the things we were talking about initially was really guest oriented. Yeah. And at some point, I was like, yo, Jeff, let's just fire this out. And you're like, okay, so here we are, no studio, no nothing. It'd be hard to fit a guest in the current setup we got going on.
Throw him on the couch back there.
Yo, what's up? How are you feeling about that?
Tag him in a little bit. But
so that's more the bigger question. Like, when can we sort this out and get guests on? But, I want to do this, right? Like, I think this will be fun. I'm ready.
The thing about the one thing I'll say about with doing guests and doing stuff during the WSOP, we squared up here.
Well, the thing is, when you shift, when you have the info, it's like it shifts different. Now we shift back. This is the info. This is not the info.
All right, so we're on the non-info screen.
Non-info center.
I was just saying the hard part is about coordinating guests because people and even us, right? It's like you make day 2, you're in the 3 p.m.s, start this. It's almost impossible to really plan.
Like, I didn't play the 1508 game basically in order to do this tonight. I was gonna. It's like 1508 game. Probably smash that up. It's probably one of my better shots. But I was like, yo, no, Vig-free, bro. We got to ship this.
If we don't do it now, who knows when we're doing it? So we're on the board for this again. We did do an hour and 15 minutes that you guys will probably never see or hear because you couldn't hear it anyway.
We're gonna get this other hour. And 15 minutes.
Yeah, we might end up going.
We were talking about 30, but it's this is clocking at 30.
No, we're not. We have too much fun, but we're already again main event day 1A. Good luck. If you guys go, there's 4 starting days. What do you think? All right, let's put this on the record. Over under. What do you think for the main event? Because this is interesting.
Man, I don't even know what number. Do you know what it was the last time it ran? The most? No, it's been like 8,000. It's been up to 8. Oh, and I'm gonna give us the structure sheet. Yeah, they should tell us the champ last year. There he is. What? Oh, this was like this was some weird online thing, right? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, 5,000. So down, but like decent.
You think 5,000?
You think higher?
Yeah, we should put a bet on it, but not at that number. Not the number.
Yeah, I mean,
let's pick an over under.
I'd have to look at some of the turnouts. If you want me to actually make a line, I'd want to look at some of the turnouts and Can we get this on this?
What do you want?
Can we drive? Type in.
Yes.
Type.
2019.
No, just like WSOP main event. WSOP.
I'll get there.
Main event.
Winners.
No, who cares about the winners? We got to see the.
We want to know the winners. We can go to the
main event champion. Does it say the number?
Should say the number.
Oh, here. Look at it has numbers.
Oh, okay.
So 2006 there was 8,000 to
that was
6,
the largest one. 8,700.
Oh, are they? They're not seeing this here. We gotta put this over here.
I hope you're doing wrestling.
Listen.
You got it.
Yeah.
All right, get it in there. Yeah, get
all right.
Chart there.
So like Ryan Reese, 6,000. So a lot of 6,000s in the 2000s. It was getting up to 7,000, but then wow, and 8,000 that year. That was like a lot. And then we dropped. So yeah, 5,000's low. Let's say this will drop back down to like 6,000 something probably. With all dude, it's gonna be less this year. It's not gonna break records.
You think COVID? You think less than 6,000?
I mean, the numbers have been down for the event so far. Like, I mean, the 10K stud had 60 something people. Limit Hold'em 10K. I mean, they're down from the year before. I don't know. What about the tournaments you played? Have you noticed a difference?
Not a ton. What kind of picture is this?
I mean,
Martin?
Huge.
Why
like
is
10,
Martin
20%.
Jacobson sharing this photo at the back of this guy's head? Like, that's really what they went with down here? I mean,
what do you think? You think it'll get 7? I would take under 7, I think. Yeah. Just looking at all this.
I'd bet you. I would bet you. What we can bet. I have no fucking idea. I think it's going to get a lot of people.
So let's take 7,000 a wash, and you got over, and I'll take under. We'll bet $200.
Fine. First bet ever on Vig-free booked. Ship it. That's an easy ship. If you guys want to chime in on which side you have, I'd love to hear in the comments. Let us know. What do you think? I think this is a fucking steal at 7,000, but no problem. We'll bet it 200 on the books. And what else we got? So okay, there's that. We're moving on. Let's go. Let's talk. Okay, let's real quick run through our memory lane. 0 bracelets stands out. I do have 50 caches and a second and some final tables. Rast, this is not your WSOP page.
Find my WSOP page. How'd you find that? Don't find my head. Go to WSOP.
I'm just going to leave it at the 21 milli up there just so people can let it marinate for a second. 7.5 million, largest cache. Ryan Rast, WSOP profile. Maybe this should just work. Sometimes things work. Oh, that's it. It worked.
Oh, here we go. 46 caches.
Woo! 6 million.
Yeah, when we get there, we ship. That's how it's worked.
That's a good way to do it. 45, 9 online. Ooh, 9 online caches. I wonder if
that was basically just from that 2020 summer.
Wait, holy shit! Wait, that's interesting.
It doesn't even say.
Wait, so
online caches.
Oh, so they don't have me pegged. I probably have more caches then, because I have cached numerous events.
No, it's still up here in total caches. It's not listing online, is it? Or I don't even know.
46. Oh man, are we? We might have. It's interesting though. So technically, yeah, it's weird. It doesn't show online, but yours doesn't.
Oh, yours
doesn't count it.
Who
I care. We want to get. We'll let Chase Kessler and
19,000. But so we have a why. Yeah.
You got.
It's been fun.
It's been a good ride. All right. Anyway, we are gonna move on from the WSOP. And we're gonna go and let's talk crypto. We'll leave it at the end for Bitcoin. CryptoPunks. I'm gonna actually pass the mic over because you are a little more versed in this.
Well, give it a quick intro, and then I'll drive and explain more.
CryptoPunks. In 2017, I believe June, they created 10,000 of these Larva Labs. They gifted, I think, 9,000, if I'm not wrong. Kept around 1,000 or did whatever with those. And then they were given away. Essentially, you could mint them. They were free. Yeah. And then now the floor is about 360,000, over 100 Ethereum. Currently, that means the lowest one you can get is at that price that's listed to buy. So that's the gist of it. And they've gone as high as 7.5 million. There's a couple different attributes they have, as you can see.
The most has gone for more than that.
Like 7.
It was an alien sale for. Well, I mean, no, that's the largest on the Larva Lab site. But there was the auction, Christie's auction. It went for like 16 million or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how does that work then? That's not even factored in then?
And I mean, even 4.2 thousand Ethereum, then it was that. But today, that would be like 14 million or something. I mean,
oh,
Ethereum's
shit.
like
Is that right? That's interesting. So it's listed at the price.
That was the price at the time.
Oh, that's interesting. See, I didn't know that. That's why we're on Vig-free. I'm learning as well.
But it's so... and these are really denominated and traded in Ethereum, at least at this point in time, because all the trades happen on the Larva Labs website.
Let me make it a little bigger.
They happen in Ethereum. Yeah, they happen in Ethereum, and so so you talk about it in dollars and this, but it's kind of like crypto denominated, ETH denominated. When you're looking at them, I think one of the coolest ways to really take a look is right here. like this breaks down all the types and attributes. So you got broken down by basically the, you know, humans, non-humans, aliens, apes, zombies, which are kind of the rarest, you know, male, female. Something interesting is like there's actually significantly less females to males, only 38%, basically like 38 to 60 here being female to male. And in a way, actually, the aliens, apes, and zombies are sort of males because they all have only male attributes. And the attributes you see here, ordered by rarity, you know, the rarest beanie, choker, pilot, so on and so forth. And then you can go and check them out, all the punks, what they're listed for, what they sold for, you know, it kind of sorts them by attribute. So if you like a particular attribute, then look at all the punks that have that. And, you know, and yeah, I mean, punks, I to me, it was one of those things where when I first heard about them, it was like, wow, this is like silly. Like, why would you pay, you know, 20,000 at the time or whatever is for a JPEG? You can just copy it, right? But then when you kind of think about it, like, that's not really a good reason, because all art is copyable, right? There's copies literally of, you know, Van Goghs, of all kinds of paintings that aren't the originals. In some ways, it almost like makes the original more valuable, the fact that people are copying it and displaying it somewhere, because then it's like, wow, this is so cool. Imitation is the highest form of flattery.
Look at Honus Wagner, those cards, right? A lot of people, and the baseball cards, and same thing. I could take a picture of a Jordan rookie at 10, and say I own it, or put it as my profile pic. Like, it doesn't. BTC. Hello. It's just pumping. What's that at? Is that the same alert?
It's the same alert. So that means it's actually hanging around. That means my alert's not set very well. I'd have to reset it, but you know, whatever.
No, we'll talk about alerts and apps for that later. So, okay. So punks are hot. They're exciting. Is there any other NFT projects that you do like? I mean,
you know,
what do you think of all these? I mentioned Mike McDonald on our first iteration of this podcast about the Ethereum rock. Could it be listed in the Louvre on that type of stuff? Like, what do you think of these rocks and rugs and this and that and every NFT is doing?
I mean, really, I haven't gotten into all the different NFTs. Like, my way of looking at it is this. When I first started getting in, it's like CryptoPunks really had their place as like kind of the first NFT on Ethereum. They had a really like fair divestment schedule. They're like pretty well distributed. They had a long time where people could buy them and this and trade them. And they kind of have this place within the NFT community as being really like kind of the premier NFT. And also a cool place that they're not like purely art. They also like blend kind of, it's like you know, their uses profiles, they're kind of humanoid. They blend like an online personality, an online representation of yourself with art, which I think is like more and more relevant in a digital age where we live online. We have online personalities, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, this, you know, at some point soon, metaverse, and even probably like being in the metaverse. Like in the next 5 to 10 years, I'm sure like you'll go online and instead of just like having a profile, you might even walk around in a digital world. Like young people are more and more doing that. There's like virtual reality gaming now, and that's only going to get like stronger. And at some point, you'll probably have your manifestation in that like metaverse digital world, and stuff like CryptoPunks and these things that like represent you make a lot of sense, increasingly a lot of sense in a world like that. You know, so it's like now soon it's going to be like verified punk on your Twitter profile, just like blue check mark, but pretty soon probably verified punk or other NFT in like metaverse virtual reality, like walking around saying hi digitally to like your friends, like actually, right? Like, so instead of like Facebook chat, it'll literally probably like voice this, walk in your metaverse, your punk, or your punks hang out with you as you literally chat to them in some kind of like 3D environment with your VR goggles on.
Speaking of take a look at our profiles here. So yeah, like for example, anyone, you know, happen to have the ownership of the punks, but how, like, what would be similar like verification? How would you verify?
You know, I don't know exactly how they'll do it, but like you can see here, like you actually have kind of a blue ring around it, which you did, but like what if Twitter just did something like that, like blue check mark, blue ring, that Twitter has on there when it's verified, or a check mark by it or whatever. You know, I don't know what they're going to do. They've announced that they're going to do it.
Some way to do it. It's not,
you know, it's very easy to like integrate a way that's not douchey, that shows ownership and whatever, you know. And so this is, you know, Jeff, pink with hat. I love this punk, pink with hat, you know, with eye mask and purple lipstick. And to me, these traits all combine in a really like synergistic way. The purple lipstick with the pink hair. And then if you look at the eye mask with the hat on the pink hat, they're both black, the 2 whites for the eyes, the 2 whites for the hat. To me, this punk just super styling. I love this punk. You know, this is my punk, and now I've altered the actual image, but it's got the crazy hair and the 3D glasses. I think the 3D glasses are an iconic trait. I think they're cool. They kind of give it a punk, steampunk vibe, like kind of out there, futuristic. The red goes with the red hair. You know, I have a beard. This guy's got a beard. And then I put on the laser eyes. Laser eyes are like a meme in the Bitcoin community for like Bitcoin going to the moon, going to 100K plus, whatever. So this is my punk who sees the future with the 3D glasses, and what he sees is Bitcoin going to the moon. You know, yeah. So
very cool. And you wore this. This was you actually at the WSOP.
The day one of the WSOP, I show up, you know, styling as my punk. Yeah.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, so that's that. CryptoPunks, very, very, very fun, very cool, very nice site, very interesting. And actually, I didn't even realize, like, yeah, so to break it down, this is basically saying that there's 2 for sale, 2 available.
There's 2 aliens available right now. The cheapest one being 35,000 ETH is the asking price. Maybe he'll take less, maybe not. I don't know. Got a bid on it to find out.
But he would 35K. He would take it.
Yeah, right now, if you send 35K ETH, you get that punk. It's being offered. There's no, it's a legit offer. You just click send the F, and it's yours.
Wow, there you go. And here's the actual floor, right? There it is.
The actual floor, 103.5.
This is the one if you want to enter into the market for the least amount of money.
The cheapest one.
And actually, this is super interesting to see the history of this one. So here it is. What I say, June 2017,
minted, claimed.
So
by
how lucky? Like, this is literally like, if you were just aware, alert, or had a friend or someone was like, check this out, you could have gotten this for free. And let's look at the trajectory. So it was.
Well, this one doesn't have a great one because it basically didn't start getting listed until May of this year. So there's not like a whole intricate price history with this where you can really see the growth.
Show me.
But you can still see the growth. You know. From 20 up to 100 or whatever. Maybe I mean, no, this one didn't get listed till 1K for this bad boy. Maybe it'll be a zombie that has
He's had a ride?
It's had a ride. You know, I mean, here in 2019, it was listed for 35F or whatever.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, you know, that's a zombie. Yeah, I mean, you can just go on this website and play around and find punks. I mean, you'll definitely find some that have been on a ride for sure.
And what about, go to the accounts active, which is interesting because you can see there's actually maybe, and there's 10,000, but there's probably over 1,000 lost.
Here's one. Oh, but see, it's only going back to 2020. It sold for 6 Ethereum in May. Oh, but this is last year.
Wow.
You know, and this one is, you know, being offered for this is more than it's going to get. 3,000 ETH for a tiara is not happening probably. Although it's a nice tiara, the earring with the matching the tiara, full bladed makeup. It's a sweet tiara, but that's a very high asking price for it. But yeah. Anyway, so you know, CryptoPunks kind of have the premier NFT. There's a whole lot of NFTs, and I'm sure some will do well, some won't. But you know, if NFTs work out and Ethereum does well, then probably CryptoPunks have a very good chance of staying in the king's chair in the throne.
Hey, go back, hit that accounts. Hit the accounts. Go to the top owners accounts.
Like the top owners.
Yeah, because it's interesting to see like the active activity showing you similar to Bitcoin. There's Bitcoin loss most likely in the world.
So the biggest owner is 428, about 4% of the punks. And there's only 11 accounts with 100 or more.
And look at that. There's 4 years ago. Very likely
this one's probably lost right here. These punks are probably gone.
We clicked on that. What was it? Probably 100 million plus in that account. There's a $100 million account.
I mean, this account has some hoodies here, some 3D glasses. Did it have any?
I thought it did. Maybe it was a different one we said. Oh no, it was an 89.
Yeah, this one.
There was an 89 one with 89.
I mean, that's a choker pink. It's got some cool, but I don't think it doesn't have.
There was an 89 account. That's the one that was super spicy. That one 3 years ago. GG 100 milli.
Oh yeah, 3 zombies. Look at a lot of like Waterside, gold chain,
hoodies,
3D hoodies, welding goggles.
100 mil plus in this. Here, just fire what? So there's zero way to recover this.
Yeah, I mean, with crypto, when it's gone, it's gone. Like, there's not a way. You can't appeal to some central authority to, hey, like, give me access to this. Just nobody has it. For the most part, that's a feature, but it can definitely, be a bug and can be a bit scary. You're really responsible for the security of it. You have to have a well thought out security plan, for those type of situations. And obviously, this is the type of thing where 3 years ago, none of these punks were probably worth more than Ethereum.
Wait, can you click on that? Go to that and go to like click on one of them. You can see what they got it for.
Yeah,
like you can be like, this guy got it for free, probably.
He bought it for 1 Ethereum in 2017. He bought this hoodie zombie that's probably would sell for 2,000 ETH or some crazy amount.
Hold on, go down. So what is the last transaction?
This is a literal 2,000x in Ethereum, and Ethereum was $205 at the time. So this $205, and today this would go for whatever, 5 million, 6 million, 7 million. Crazy.
Go up and so.
But I mean, listen, that's art, right? I mean, like when art becomes valuable, it's like worthless almost at the time, and then all of a sudden, someone's paying 30 million for a basket.
So you can see offer withdrawn. So basically, this guy bought it, right, for that for $200, right? And now there was bids and bids withdrawn.
Well, no, he asked for 5. Someone was bidding 1. He asked for 5, 250, 2, and then he just took the bid for $1
for $200.
So this poor person who sold it obviously pretty soon after they were minted, sold it for $200, and then whoever had it kept it to today. And this account hasn't.
Oh, so there's bids and bids.
Yeah, people have been bidding. These are like silly bids. I mean, 100 ETH for whatever. I mean, that's not getting accepted today. There's actually currently no bid on it. But yeah, so anyway, you can see the history. But yeah, so these are CryptoPunks. They're cool. They're awesome.
Very, very cool. Well, yeah, interesting. If you guys got questions on that, please feel free to ask. And what about Mike McDonald? Would you bet him at 10-1 or 5-1? What do you think the odds are he gets put in the loop?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. Like maybe he donates it to the loop. Right. Maybe
our boy, Mr. Eduardo Brillo.
Another rock donates the rock, and it makes all rocks double in value. He writes off the donation. Who knows? Like, there's all kinds of like weird things with that where I would be very hesitant to bet somebody and like give them huge odds, where like they could easily set up a situation where you could get the loop, get it, and it's like plus EV for them, and then they snap you on the bet. So
exactly,
wouldn't bet.
Well, because again, the first ever CryptoPunk, Eduardo Brillo, shout out to our boy, brother. He gifted a punk, I think around 30 or 40K at the time, to the art CIA in Miami. Or CAI, I think it's called. I'm not sure the institute there, but pretty cool that things have gone well. CryptoPunks are doing good. So let's move on from punks. We covered that. We said again we did cover the WSOP. We covered CryptoPunks, and let's take a look at our friend.
Let's go.
Bitcoin.
Go to crypto. Yeah,
our friend.
He's right over here. Move these.
This is the one.
Here, that's the chart. These are the charts right here.
Yeah, let's take a look here. So this is 1 year.
This is the last year.
This is where Bitcoin was looking
a year ago.
Wasn't super spicy at the moment, but
it had just basically it went up to like 12.5. Then I had that sell off to 10, and that was when it looked like it was going to go down below 10, but it kind of held 10K. And Michael Saylor sailed in a lot of money, bought a bunch of Bitcoin for MicroStrategy, and then boom, that's like once 10K held. This happened. Just take off. Went all the way up to the previous all-time high, consolidated there for about a month, and then just started mooning. And you look at this chart, a lot of volatility, a lot of, and so people always are like, want to talk, oh, hey, like what crypto do you own? What should I buy? You look at Bitcoin, this is from a traditional standpoint, it's like pretty wild, right? Like if you saw this for a stock price, you would think like this stock is wild, but yeah, I mean other cryptos, you're not going to get at this point in time. You've kind of missed the 100,000x whatever you're trying to roll it up in the crypto casino on Bitcoin. but to me, it's just the surest bet in crypto. If there's a sure bet in crypto, it's Bitcoin. You know, we can get into that maybe in another podcast. You know, it's been a wild ride this last year. Broke the all-time high, really made a push, kind of hit this Coinbase IPO, and then from there the market sold off. You know, there was this whole thing where China's always been banning Bitcoin and had restrictions, but this was actual China going after the miners, and the hash rate dropped a bunch of miners went offline, and that exacerbated the selling. And we had this long extended sell-off period that when it ran out of steam, we went the other way. And
what were you thinking right here? Were you concerned at a moment around this time? It's not a fun time when it's just like it's just kind of really looking a bit scary. Did you lose when it drops below 30? Are you kind of like, this is dicey, or are you still just like, I trust the process?
Well, you know, I mean, as a long-term holder, definitely trust the process. You know, as somebody trading, I was definitely like, okay, I mean, I'm bullish this year, but like, when is this gonna turn around? I mean, it was starting to look pretty ugly.
Yeah.
You know, I'd say my belief in Bitcoin as a long-term investment, for me personally, it's like by far the highest conviction I've had just in something. Like, let's put it this way, you know, when it comes to a lot of other coins, exchanges, FTX, Coinbase, whatever, I mean, they're a centralized thing, like the exchanges. They can get shut down by the government. A lot of coins, only semi-decentralized, like they have founders. Yeah. You know, the founders can get shut down. Even something like Ethereum, a little harder with the founders, but, you know, when a coin, so one of the trade-offs, these coins, they do all these transactions per second, that's way better than Bitcoin. Yeah, but the trade-off is that in order to do all that, you need a lot more servers, a lot more computing power, and that's like essentially a point that can go after. Like, so for example, Ethereum, just kind of it's not this simple, but Ethereum, in order to like store like the full data for the blockchain, like that needs to happen on like Amazon cloud, like on the cloud. You can't just do that on a computer at home. And so like that, the government could go after those like points, right? Bitcoin nodes can be run on any computer. Like you could run it on this laptop. So like in that sense, and like mining, if someone's like, no mining here, like what China did, the miners will just go somewhere else. And like, even if there's less miners, I mean, obviously more miners secure the network more, but like it will run either way. It's like really there's like no shutting down Bitcoin. Yeah. In a way, it's like literally it's like inevitability. It's like inevitability coming, like of sound money. Like I actually like really believe this, and it's just like I don't know the path it will take, but like it's like more than like most other things. I just really think that it will get there. It's like when you really like study it, there's so many things about it that make sense, and I just feel like it's this awakening that humanity will have. That like one by one, people will be like, yeah, Bitcoin is sound money. I get it. So I'll store value in it. I'll buy it.
Yeah, I was saying too with the NFTs, ticket prices, collections. You're looking at the key cards on the wall, like as a thing. Like it's at some point, people love memory dividends. They want to hold stuff. They want to. This is a little more NFTs, but even just like Bitcoin, from the simple practicality of money, right? It's like the currency print all this money. How much paper is created with US dollar, with all these things? Like at some point, 10 years, 20 years, it's like people probably laugh. They'll be like, my kids, my son, hopefully, in the future he has kids, and they'll be like, they won't even know.
Like all money will be digital.
Yeah.
At some point, probably.
Right.
Even the U.S. will have like their digital
dollar, or however the hell they're doing.
They'll print as money as much of it as they want.
Yeah, it's
literal $1 trillion US coin.
It's easier to print on a phone.
The trilly. It'll be like a joke, like the Zimbabwe dollars, but whatever. I mean, I hope not.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
Yeah,
we're saying the same thing.
But so yeah, I mean, I don't know. I look at this chart and what I see is we broke the previous all-time high. We're consolidating in this region, and listen, Bitcoin, every time it moves up significantly in price levels, there's going to be long-term holders that take some profits. I see that happening here, but like I believe that like when this plays out, and it might be done playing out right now, we're going to keep onward and upward. And I actually really think there's a chance of 6-digit Bitcoin, and by the end of the year, in the next 6 months, something like that. I think there's a real chance at that. So, and then long term, who knows? I mean, the bull case, like, listen, it's funny, we talked about this in the first podcast, but 3 years ago, I was talking about 50K Bitcoin.
Yeah, when it was
like 4,000.
4,000.
I was like, I even bet people.
Yeah.
Like, I think in 4 years we could hit 50K. I mean, those were a huge bet. Like, that was some of the best prop bets I ever did. And give you guys maybe the story another time. But like, right now, what's the bull case? 2025, 2026. Who knows? It could be 500,000 Bitcoin. Like, I think so. I mean, when you look at it the way you look, and there's some stuff like John Pfeffer wrote an article on crypto assets, and yeah, perfect. This is exactly the chart for that. Blow it back up. It's like, you look at the gold market cap, you look at certain things, using countries start buying whatever. I mean, like Bitcoin's market cap now is like 1 trillion. Like gold market cap's like 10 trillion, right? 10x from here, that's 570K Bitcoin. But Bitcoin has like so many other uses.
It's also
beyond just being like a store of value like gold, right?
From a just like a way of thinking as well. Like, okay, China makes a Bitcoin. I think they did do something, right? They made their own.
They're going to make a digital currency,
right? But so like at some point too, if there's a chance where the world just says, you know what, maybe this is like the most even way or playing field. Like everyone doesn't just create their own digital. Maybe they will, but still, like that fact that Bitcoin is like universal. Does that make it's like
I just think digital currencies legitimize Bitcoin,
right?
If governments are like, we're making our currency digital, like people say, oh, so why use Bitcoin? Well, it's like you use Bitcoin because there's only going to be 21 million. It's a supply cap.
How much do
you have no guarantee with the Chinese yuan digital currency or the Fed coin. You have no guarantee. Like they can print as many of those as you want. Like that's
how much Bitcoin do you believe there is? Because like 21 million. Like what percent would you estimate? Because I hear different crazy numbers, but like I think
I've heard like a couple million are probably lost.
Well, I mean that's for sure. I think there's that one key that's like 3 million or 2 million that's never accessed.
No. Satoshi coins are like a little over 1 million.
Oh, is it 1 million?
Yeah. That people think is Satoshi, probably Halfini, but no one knows for sure, type of thing. But that's only like one a little over 1.
So 6%.
But people think maybe based on not moving for a long enough time. I've heard like some. I don't know the exacts, but let's say like somewhere 2 to 4 range. What I've heard in terms of like probably lost.
Imagine there's only 16 or 17 million, right? That even just adds into.
I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Just the idea that the supply is capped out of whatever. We're starting to push 19 million that have been made. It's only 2 million more are going to be created forever in the future, and you the exact supply schedule, inflation. It's not like gold. Not like if gold goes up, like more people start mining, and like who knows? Like 10 years from now, SpaceX, we go mine an asteroid and like find a bunch more gold. It's just never happening with Bitcoin, So the supply. You can send Bitcoin anywhere in the world. It's like perfect for settlement. Like unlike gold, where you just can't send gold. You can't really cut it up. You can only do gold derivatives. But like Bitcoin, you can actually settle with the actual Bitcoin. I mean, it's great. And like speaking of this thing, so you look at this chart and you're like, okay, this is cool, but this is a regular chart. You look at the entire history. Wow, this chart's like, what's going on? What's this whole history where it's basically 0 and then it just like spikes? But this exact same chart, I mean, this is the same thing, but on a logarithmic scale, right? Logarithmic is all these things. So in a regular chart, all these moves are 0, 10,000. So the same distance vertically just represents 20, 40, 60, the same move. But on a log chart, every move up is actually like a 10x. So, 0.1, this. And on a log chart, like Bitcoin actually is like growing as like a mathematical network growth log function. And like this, kind of shows like a reasonable growth pattern over the years. And I don't know. I mean, that's also part of the reason why I believe in some of these, like, oh, what's the price of Bitcoin going to be in 5 years? Well, you have some like reasoning about like what the value proposition is, and like, oh, gold market cap, this being used for international settlements, being used for offshore bank accounts, being used, as a reserve currency for, eventually companies, probably eventually countries. I mean, it already is in a country, El Salvador, right? I mean, more countries, and whatever, and then this is it growing as a network. Because like right now in the U.S., maybe something around 10% of people In some countries as much as 30, like Nigeria, under 10 in others. And what if that number starts in 20, 30, 40, 50%? Now that number is price is going to keep going up as the network grows.
Right.
So yeah.
It is fascinating though to go when we went on that run. I think we were again. I'm forgetting what we've covered because we just did cover all this earlier. But you said I think I entered. This is all time. Let's go to 1 year. No, sorry, all time. So I got in around that score. I had a score online December 2016. It was right around 900, I believe. Yeah, it was on this exact day. $830 coin. I came in, and we got in. We hit some some Verge. There was a whatever IOTA. There's different things. We were in funds and whatnot. I think you said you came in 2017.
Yeah, my first purchase was right around there. Yeah, May of not quite that low. It's more like this, something like that.
So you were a little over double when I got in, but you were a big believer. You really saw it fast and kind of were like, I believe in this. I like it.
Yeah, just continue snowball of belief. And it's the more I learn, the more this. And like a lot of people, when I first got in, it was all about all these coins and this and that. And pretty soon it's just oh, hey, so, all these coins are going to do this project. And then people hype it up and blow it out. But then it's oh, this is going to happen for years. Yeah. And the coin dumps off again and whatever. But it's Bitcoin's not trying to do a project. It's just trying to be money, and it's decentralized, and that's it. It's very simple. It doesn't necessarily have it doesn't do smart contracts, doesn't do this. And you find the right coin, you have the clairvoyant, you make the right call, you can 100x plus. Bitcoin's not going to 100x from where it is now, but to me, Bitcoin's just the safe investment in crypto. In an already huge return, riskier asset class, Bitcoin's the safest one. And that was part of the appeal to me to CryptoPunks as well with NFTs. I just feel I think people like playing the casino too much with a lot of things, and they're oh, I want to run this up. I want to turn this 1,000 into 1,000,000, 1,000 exit. But it's just I don't really think that should be the goal with investing, because you end up giving up EV and giving up a lot with that, and you should. When you're already looking at a high-risk investment, Kelly would tell you to pick the one that's the safest bet.
Kelly criterion.
Yep.
It's great. It's a great concept. Actually, I want to close out here soon, but I think could we because this to me, I drop this all the time. Phil Locke, actually, I think is the first one who told me about this.
Yeah, Phil, same with me.
And Phil's I love Phil. It. Phil would be an amazing guest on here. One of our very close friends. Hopefully we can get him in here at some point. But could you explain a bit, you're better at it than me, but it's about bet sizes and kind of about appropriate to your net worth and maybe a bunch of other factors, but maybe you break this down because it's a fascinating.
Instead of typing in this, type in Kelly Criterion Calculator, because that's actually the thing there. Yeah.
I've never actually done this particularly.
Go to the Albion research one or whatever this said. All right. So this is kind of the way that I practically kind of think about it more. And you type in stuff okay, what's your gambling bankroll? What are the odds offered on the bet? What is your probability of winning? And it kind of spits out an answer for what the optimum bet size is in order to maximize the growth of your bankroll. And then it'll also tell you, if Kelly's maximally aggressive, if you're less aggressive or whatever. But so it's a way to think about how much you should be betting. Now, obviously in real life, you don't always know your probability of winning really, or the exact odds of winning your bet, right? So if you're thinking about Bitcoin, also it's a model, and it's really for stuff where you were just able to do the bet and it resolves. In real life, there's a time value to money. Bitcoin, for example, is a bet which it doesn't resolve perfectly as a win or lose, it doesn't just go to zero or the number you say. It's not that simple. And also Bitcoin, like many investments, takes place over a long amount of time.
Right.
So Bitcoin, it's interesting to look at Kelly to think about Bitcoin, but it's not the perfect use of it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it kind of gives you clues about.
This is cool too.
About it.
How it tells you. You plug it in.
Yeah.
And they tell you about exactly, and then 40 breaks it all down, why it's doing it, your fortune will grow on average by what percent, what the risk is, and then split it in half is often recommended even, and just kind of explain that. So yeah, I think that's I'd say like the two things I hear the most are in gambling, like in terms of bet, these things are Kelly criterion and martingale, right? Like martingale where you like go to the casino, roulette, you just keep betting double, or whatnot, but
Martingale's not really the strategy to take.
No, I know. I'm just saying those are like the tiers I hear the most, and Kelly I think is the most interesting and the thing that I don't, a lot of people haven't heard of, and like some people haven't gambling their life. You just mentioned like the average person, like I doubt our Brazilian beautiful wives would know Kelly criterion. You know what I'm saying? It's not like not like a random person.
Yeah, I mean, I think like people outside of really gambling probably don't think too much about this. Maybe like people in investing or whatever, but
it's just some complex shit, man. You're Stanford almost grad. What do you? Listen, is this? Are you plugging this in?
No, I'm not doing any of this.
This is do people really
That's why
do
you
that?
just use the calculator.
I know, but do people really do this shit? I mean, this makes my head want to pop.
Yeah. I mean,
what the fuck? This is.
Yeah, once upon a time, I
were you doing some of this
stuff like this? Yeah, man. I was, multivariable calculus and all this stuff, but that was like
that's why
a different time in a different life. It's been a long time, and my math skills are have deteriorated greatly. Right. There's no way I'm gonna be drawn dead at doing this right now.
I sometimes think about that when Joseph's going to go to school, and I'm like, we'll get a good tutor. I'm not going to be plugging.
Well, I mean, listen, man, it'll be, it'll be a while till Joseph is doing math like this. Yeah. At first he's going to be doing stuff like adding and subtracting and multiplying. Maybe some simple geometry at some point or whatever. Pretty sure you'll be able to handle that. You can handle that.
Geometry was actually.
Come on, bro.
No, I was good at math, but this kind of math.
The triangle angles add up to 180.
That's pretty solid. That's very, very solid. Listen, we are gonna cover. We'll kind of leave you guys, I think, about here. I just want to mention that I was gonna give myself do a couple little plugs here at the end, including my podcast, which Brian has been on several times. You guys want to check that out. I'm going to scroll over here and show you. So we have had 150, and we said we think we get like 5 in the next 5-6 weeks. I think about 1 a week is fair. So there was Brian on
just been
number 5.
Number 5 and like 60 or something.
5 and 60 something. We've had
5 and there it is, 64.
Right here. There he is. Rasty.
Yeah.
We did one live in Bahamas. We did one here. And
that was like during COVID over the whatever Skype or whatever we used.
Yeah. So anyway, there's the episodes. If you guys have guests that you want us to have on, let us know. We're gonna be building the channel up. We're gonna have fun. We're
guests,
gonna chat.
Topics. I mean, we're gonna talk about the stuff we like, but we're also definitely gonna be open to what you guys like and what you want us to talk about, and give our takes on whatever.
Absolutely. Well, I think, Rast, if there's not any further ado, I think we covered it all. We'll be playing the WSOP schedule, and we will...
we got a $200 bet fired this time.
Yep.
That happened.
We got a $200 bet, and what else did we do? We covered a lot. I don't know. I'm trying to think if we missed anything. You shout out Brain Fuel, shout out to Lux on Pay. What else? Any other? Elliot Rowe, we said. What else we got?
What are we talking about? Poker, WSOP, Bitcoin, crypto. That's my jam.
That's how you want to end it. I love it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Let's do this.
We're going to end it. We're going to see you soon. Good luck to everyone playing the WSOP. Good luck to everyone playing.
Yeah.
Good luck to everyone gambling, having fun. Gamble responsibly. This is Vig-free. And
don't pay Vig.
Don't pay Vig. Explain how you might be able to do that.
Well, you have to find somebody. To put it up on here while I'm doing a Vig-free calculator.
Okay.
Yeah, let's show them. So you got to find somebody to bet. And then, you guys, I like this side, your buddy likes the other side. You go to this Vig-free calculator, boom, and you just type in type in 240. 240, and then another one type in minus 300. So this will be the line. And this Vig will probably be 255 would be my guess. Okay, man.
You've done this a few times.
So like basically the Vig-free bet here, if you saw online posted at a casino, plus 240, minus 300 being the spread, The Vig-free, you bet your friend would be 255. So, you know, you'd lay 255 to win 100, or 100 to win 255, depending on who you were taking. And that's
how's
like
that make sense?
Free.
So I see the difference here.
But it's not right in the middle, right?
Yeah.
It explains that. It explains the reason why here on the page.
So on the minus, are they actually taking it? They're taking a big take there?
Yeah, it ends up that it takes more on that side, which it explains how that happens and why sometimes, you know, a line's actually like a line that comes up. If it's 240 somewhere and somewhere else you see 250, that's actually like a way bigger deal than if you see minus 300 somewhere and you see like minus 280. So even though you're only making up 10 here and you're making 20 there, like this is like way better because it's actually much closer to the no vig, stuff like that. But yeah, you know, I mean, truth is Vig-free is probably coming everywhere eventually. I mean, I actually think that's one of the applications of blockchain to me that makes sense. Like when you take something like Ethereum, whatever, these decentralized application protocols, like eventually, right, what are you paying a casino to do? You're paying a casino to guarantee you get paid. But if you can just lock that up in a smart contract, you don't need to pay the casino 10 cents both ways or more.
Right. If there's anyone else on the other side, like the guy wants to bet the Ravens, the guy wants to bet the Raiders.
And so obviously with your friend, you trust your friend's going to pay you. So you can do Vig-free. But like, what if you didn't need to trust the person because it got locked up in a smart contract, you know, and then all the people that are guaranteeing this get paid whatever, 1%, something way less than 10% just to stake their tokens. Right. I mean, it's not like I'm just inventing this idea here because I'm such a genius. Like this idea has already been thought of. It's just a matter of time until crypto gets big enough and then, you know, coins and then something gets built out with a good user interface and this get some liquidity on it and boom. And you're going to have like, it's going to be crazy. If you like betting, it'll be awesome. If you like betting, you'll be like super low vig. This is something I really believe is going to happen.
Sure.
One of the applications of crypto that will happen.
Will we change our name to low vig? Or no? Are we going to be Vig-free?
No, because even that'll be low vig, but we're going to be Vig-free, baby, till we die.
I love it.
Rock and roll.
I love it. And so, do you think the sports bet industry is in jeopardy? Or no, they're always.
I mean, I think it's, you know, I think crypto and decentralized applications really mean some businesses today that are quite big will have the work cut out for them to stay alive going forward. That the sports betting industry is one of them. You know, certain aspects of banking are another, right? I mean, like you pay banks like a ton of fees, but like, you know, at some point, certain things don't make a lot of sense. You know, I mean, like why am I paying the bank $45 to wire money internationally, plus getting screwed on like the foreign conversion fee and all this stuff? It costs so much money. It takes like a week. Well, hello, Bitcoin. Hello, you know, 10 minutes to confirm it on the block. You know, it gets confirmed like almost for sure within 30 minutes to an hour. It costs cents, right. 24/7.
No exchange fee.
Bye Swift system. Hello, Bitcoin system. You know, I mean, like, you know, it's coming. It's just a matter of it getting adopted, it getting big enough, people using it. But yeah, you know, I mean, there's just a lot of things that make sense within. Like, not everything needs to be decentralized. Doesn't always make sense for everything. There's certain things, okay, you centralize it, you trust the party. But in other places where this central party is just taking like huge cuts, and it's like, okay, we could decentralize it, and like the casino's not taking 10, 20 cents both ways, and you get the liquidity done. The banks aren't taking these like ridiculous fees, and you still send the money done. Yeah, to me, it's just a matter of time. Right.
Yeah, and maybe the banks adopt as well. They're like, all right, look, like we're taxing people here, or we have that, but they have to just basically come down a lot.
Yeah, they're going to try, and maybe the end result ends up being there's some amount of centralization, but like the decentralized competition like pushes it way down. But then ultimately, people want to trust whatever this bank because there's other reasons you like trusting the bank. Like you get your credit card through them, and if like someone steals your credit card, right, like they'll cut it off and like pay you back for that.
Yeah, there's some security. Also, just similar why our parents or my parents will say, you know, Bitcoin. It's like, all right, they get it, they like it, but they don't feel super comfortable. They get robbed, they could get hacked. They don't. There's not really like a central.
And they want their money to be guaranteed at some place, like, you know. So that stuff.
Is it possible that Bitcoin could there become like a security like a big enough agency or something that could form based on like some people like high Bitcoin holders or whatever, just something that like becomes like not a federal, but somewhere that if there's a Bitcoin issue, you can have someone brought in like and officially be done. Is there like any way that could happen?
What, to reverse it like the credit card thing?
Like an FBI company, but or like someone to handle Bitcoin fraud, stealing, theft, like there would be like a way that we could, like, is that possible?
So unlike a credit card, you can't, because what happens with a credit card is you think the transaction's happening instantly, but the real thing that's happening is the transaction don't get processed for a while, right? You just don't see that whole back end with it. Like instantly at the time it's getting approved, but it takes, they're delaying a few days to actually process the transaction for security reasons and whatever. Whereas Bitcoin is actually processing, while it's not instant, it's like actually much faster in terms of the time, right? Because it's actually being finally transferred and processed like relatively quickly, right? Within the block confirmation time, there's not really a way to reverse it. Now, what could happen is if you have your Bitcoin in some central exchange, just like the credit card, it could be held before being sent, or if it is sent, right, like it's still being held by the same entity. Then of course, really Bitcoin's just becoming a way to use money like a bank, which doesn't make it ultimately that much different, which some people, like libertarian edge of Bitcoiners, like obviously wouldn't be crazy about that happening, but of course, could be a Bitcoin settlement layer that's used like the Swift settlement layer, but I think that would be a very limited application of Bitcoin. It can obviously do a lot more than that. And another way to answer your security thing is like within the context of Bitcoin even being used more largely, where like you got scammed, there was some kind of hack into your computer, so some security got compromised, and you lost your Bitcoin. Bitcoin can be tracked. So like Bitcoin's not purely private by any stretch. Like Bitcoin is what's called like anonymous, right? Like if someone has a wallet, all Bitcoin transactions can be tracked. You just don't know necessarily who has a wallet. But every time that wallet gets linked to somewhere, like if you KYC, AML, whatever, with an exchange, and then transact with that exchange, you're essentially like, this is my ID. Okay, the money gets sent, the exchange knows. And like obviously governments can maybe get that from exchanges or whoever, right? So there's ways that like eventually, there can be a lot of more clarity on who owns what wallet on the blockchain. But so it's anonymous, but the anonymity or whatever can be tracked and eventually found out. And like there was that like Colonial Pipeline hack. They actually like found out the people who got the Bitcoin. They like found them, right? So there are ways to do it for sure.
Very cool. Interesting. All right, well, guys, listen, we've covered a lot. I hope you kind of get again in-depth look at what we're talking about. Basically, Ras and I have conversations, and we decided we should just, although it takes more work, organization, it takes an hour and 15 minutes to not know we were recording the first time and do it twice. There are going to be some hiccups, but ultimately we want to do it. We think it's fun, and we think you guys will enjoy. We hope you enjoy. Hope you get to leave comments, feedback, and let us know some future guests you like. Let us know if you think the over-under is 7,000 for the WSOP main event. Leave comments below, and appreciate you guys tagging us.
Put the Vig-free line on that.
Yeah, Vig-free line. Let us know what you think it is. So cheers. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys hopefully many more times very soon. Thank you so much.
Peace.